Welcome back to AZ Sports Roundup. Today we are going to be making a March Madness bracket. The first ever perfect bracket is going to be right here. I'm just kidding, but sorry, this mic, it doesn't really work right now. I'm trying to get it fixed, or I don't know what's wrong with it, but sorry if the audio is bad. I just have this for some cool effects. But now, let's just head over to the East region. Duke, Siena, gimme Duke. Ohio State, TCU. This is an interesting one. It's basically 50-50. These are two good teams. But give me Ohio State. I really like Bruce Thornton. He's the all-time leading scorer for Ohio State. And in his first ever and probably last March Madness tournament, he's going to go all out. Give me Ohio State in that one. St. John's, Northern Iowa. I do like Northern Iowa. I just think they got a bad draw here. St. John's is a really good team. Give me them to advance. And Kansas, on their best day, they can beat anybody. On their worst day, they can lose to anybody. So I will not be shocked if Cal Baptist pulls up the upset. But give me Kansas to advance. Louisville, South Florida. Now, this is an interesting one because Michael Brown Jr., he's not going to be there. They obviously have Ryan Conwell, but South Florida is hot, and this is the hot pick. I don't think there's a single person in the media that really has picked Louisville, and that kind of scares me a little bit, but I'm going to go South Florida. They just have, they're a hot team. I love teams that are coming in hot into March Madness. They have a bunch of guys that can just pick up a bucket when needed, so I think they're going to advance. Michigan State, North Dakota State. Don't overthink it. Give me Michigan State here. UCLA, UCF. This has also been another hot upset pick, but I really like this UCLA team. Donovan Dent is finally coming into form, and I think that they're just a good team. They're going to move on. UConn Furman, out of all of the 2 to 15 seeds that I think could be an upset, I think this could be it, but I'm not going to predict it. I'm not that bold, so give me UConn to advance. Down to the South region, we have Florida, they're going to advance. And give me Iowa over Clemson. They play kind of a boring style of basketball, but I really like what Bennett Sturts is doing, and I think that what his capability, that should be able to carry his team to a win in March. That's basically what happened with Drake. I forgot who they beat, but Drake with Bennett Sturts on him. Bennett Sturts carried them to victory, so I think that's going to happen again. Vanderbilt, McNeese. I like this McNeese team also, but Vanderbilt, they're hot, just came off of an SEC championship appearance. They have guys like Tyler Tanner, Duke Miles, who can pick up buckets. Nebraska, Troy, I'm not going to overthink it either. Nebraska, give me that. VCU, North Carolina. North Carolina without Caleb Wilson, they're just not that good, and VCU is a really good basketball team, so give me them to advance. Illinois, Penn. This is interesting because Penn has a player, TJ Power, who just dropped 40 in the Ivy League championship, along with the game winner. He could go off again and have a Jack Golke type game and beat Illinois, but I just don't think that's going to happen. Illinois has the best offense in college basketball. They have so many guys that can pick up buckets. Keen Wadler, Andre Stojakovic, the Avicic brothers, they're just really dominant on the offensive side of the court. St. Mary's, Texas A&M. I just don't think this Texas A&M team is very good. The buckyball strategy, full court press, I just don't think it's a really good idea. So give me St. Mary's to advance. Houston, Idaho. I've seen some people that really think Idaho could be a sweet Cinderella. I don't think that's gonna happen. Give me Houston. Now to the West region. Give me Arizona to advance. Give me Utah State to advance. They just run the table in the Mountain West Conference Championship. They're hot right now. Give me them to advance. Wisconsin High Point. I like this High Point team because they have many people who average double figures. They can pick up buckets, and this is relatively the same team from last year, which, if you don't remember, High Point played Purdue. They barely lost. They played hard. They're going to be hungry, but Wisconsin's too good. They have John Blackwell, Tyler Boyd. Is that his name? Not Tyler Boyd. Nick Boyd. Tyler Boyd's the football player. They just have so many guys that can pick up buckets, and Boyd and Blackwell might be the two best guard duo in the country. Next, we have Arkansas, Hawaii. I like Arkansas. Give me them to advance. BYU, Texas. This is interesting because these teams are not very hot. BYU is 5 of their last 10, and Texas has been on a downhill slide. But Texas, maybe that momentum beating NC State in the first four, I'm going to take them to advance because BYU, outside of AJ Dybantsa and Rob Wright, they really don't have that many go-to scorers. And I feel like Texas is going to go, okay, let's try. Dybantsa can drop 30, and Rob Wright can do his stuff, but make the others beat us. They'll try and just, they'll probably, their defensive game plan is all going to be on Dybantsa, and sure, he might drop 30, he might drop 40, but they just don't have the other guys to get it, so that's why I have Texas advancing. Give me Gonzaga over Kennesaw State. Give me Miami over Missouri. I really like them. They have two great players, Malik Reneau and Trey Donaldson. I think that they're going to be great. Missouri, I like them too. They have Mark Mitchell and Jaden Stone, but I think Miami's going to win. They haven't played very good competition, which is something to look out for, but I just think Miami's a good team. And then give me Purdue over Queens. However, Queens was the loudest team on Selection Sunday by a large margin. They just give me St. Peter's vibes. I don't know why, but just give me Purdue. They're the better team. Michigan, St. Louis over Georgia. Look, Jeremiah Wilkinson is good, but I'm not gonna pick against Kareem Abdul-Jabbar, Milk Chamberlain, as they're calling him, Robbie Avila. He's a great player. Now we have these two upsets, which I'm calling Akron and Hofstra over Alabama and Texas Tech. Now, Akron, I thought that they were the best team in the MAC all along. They're hot. They have this guy, Tavari Johnson, who might be, I think he was the MAC Player of the Year. I could be wrong, but he's a bucket. And guards win in March. He's a guard. And so is Christian Anderson for Texas Tech, but the JT Toppin injury really hurt them because outside of Christian Anderson, who is a bucket, they don't really have too many go-to scorers. So I think Akron, with Tavari Johnson and Amani Lyles, I feel like they should be able to pull off this upset. Now Hofstra. This is not one I'm insanely confident about because coming into this, Alabama, they're just going to run all over them. Their pace and their three-point shooting, it's just going to be too much. But then the Aiden Holloway news happened. He's not going to be playing. I'm pretty sure he got kicked off the team. He's not going to be playing. And that could just be, well, one thing, they do lose their second best player. And it's probably just bad mojo for this team. And they do not have momentum. Hofstra has nothing to lose. Alabama has everything to lose. And Hofstra has size, which is something Alabama doesn't have. They have 2 7-footers, and that could cause Alabama to have some problems. And really, this is really gut feeling. I feel like Hofstra, they're just a March Madness team because there's I've never heard of them in my entire life. They come into this tournament, they play a really fast-paced team. But what happens? What happens when LeBaron Philon gets into foul trouble or the shots don't fall? That's when Hofstra can take advantage. Next, we have Tennessee, Miami, Ohio, or SMU. Don't really care who comes out of that one. I just think Tennessee, with Nate Ament and these guys, they're just a good team. I will be interested to see the first 4 matchup because I do think SMU is the better team. But, we'll see what Miami, Ohio can do. Now we have Virginia. Give me them. Santa Clara over Kentucky. Well, Kentucky has 2 great guards, Owe and Denzel Aberdeen. They're just, I don't really like them all that much. Give me Santa Clara to advance and Iowa State. And that is the round of 64. Moving on, give me Duke over Ohio State. Give me St. John's over Kansas. Kansas can be anybody if they want to. I just feel like St. John's is the more consistent team. Just blew out UConn in the Big East tournament. So I think that there's too many variables for Kansas to win this game, but they definitely can. South Florida over Michigan State. This one, the only reason I'm leaning Michigan State is just because of Tom Izzo, and you can't really pick against Tom Izzo in March. But who cares? I'm going to do it anyways. Give me South Florida to advance to the Sweet 16, and give me UCLA over UConn. I don't like this UConn team that much either. And yeah, Tyler Bilodeau, Donovan Dent, I think they're just two great players. That St. John's game for UConn, that really concerns me. I like this UCLA team. I'm gonna have them in advance. Florida over Iowa. I think that Florida's front court is gonna give Iowa too much problems. Vanderbilt, Nebraska. I'm gonna go Vanderbilt, but Rink Mass could give them some problems. Price Sanford could get electric from three. But I really like this team. Vanderbilt just has so many go-to guys. Duke Miles and Tyler Tanner, like I always mentioned. I think that they're just going to get it done. Give me Illinois over VCU, although that's not something I would not be surprised if VCU makes it to the Sweet 16, but Illinois' offense is too much for them. And give me Houston over St. Mary's. Arizona over Utah State, they shouldn't have too much trouble. This one right here, Wisconsin, Arkansas, that's the one everyone's going to. We have Nick Boyd and John Blackwell against Darius Acuff and this red-hot Arkansas team. I am a huge Darius Acuff fan, and they have other guys too, like Malik Thomas and their X-Factor Trevon Brazile. I just think that when it comes down to it, Darius Acuff is going to take over this game. And that could be the same for Boyd and Blackwell and these guys. But my gut feeling says Arkansas. I really like this Arkansas team. Give me them to advance. Give me Gonzaga over Texas. Texas, their run's over. They've got a pretty good draw over BYU. Miami and Purdue. This is probably going to be Miami's toughest test. I do think that they could come out on top. But Purdue's really good. Braden Smith has experience here. Same with Trey Kaufman-Renn. Give me them to advance. Give me Michigan over St. Louis. I initially picked St. Louis just because I love Robbie Avila and his game. I just don't think that they're going to be able to match up physically. Now we have Akron Hofstra. So this is really a toss-up because I don't know. I'm just leaning Akron just based off gut feeling. Next is Tennessee, Virginia. Give me Virginia. They looked pretty good in the ACC championship. In Tennessee, I don't know. They just don't really seem like a Sweet 16 team to me. And I do think Santa Clara could give Iowa State some troubles. But when it comes down to it, Iowa State has Milan Momcilovic, Tamin Lipsey, Joshua Jefferson. Santa Clara does not. Now for the Sweet 16. I'm usually pretty good with the first two rounds. I usually am at the top of my bracket group. Like every year, I'm at the top three of my bracket group. I predict most of the upsets. And then when it comes to Sweet 16, my entire bracket just goes down in the dumps. So I don't really know if maybe we'll change that. Well, we will because I said we're getting a perfect bracket. So, of course, we're going to do that. St. John's versus Duke. This might be Duke's biggest test because Caleb Foster is going to be out for this one. Caden Boozer has stepped up, but can he lead the offense in March against St. John's when they've heard all the noise about the injury, when they should win this game? I do think Patrick Gongba should be back. I think he's going to come back for this Ohio State game. He's not playing against Siena. I think what they're doing is they're just going to rest him. They know they can take care of Siena. And a lot of people are pointing to that Virginia game. They're like, ooh, they didn't look too good against Virginia. If anything, that was more of a testament on how good they were to me. Because they were able to beat a very good Virginia team without Caleb Foster, without Patrick Gongba. I do think this is St. John's, I think they're the second best team in this bracket. So it's a tough draw for them, but I just think Duke is going to win this. They have great coaching. So does St. John's with Rick Pitino, but give me Duke to advance. And UCLA, South Florida, that's going to be an interesting one. But I think this is where South Florida's run ends. Give me Donovan Dent to advance to the Sweet 16. Florida, Vanderbilt. This could go either way. I'm leaning Florida just because I don't think that this is going to happen to them twice. They did just get blown out in the SEC quarter semifinal. But they're hot. Give me Florida to advance. Maybe Tyler Tanner or Duke Miles. Their shots don't fall. Alex Condon, Tyler Haug. Did I just say Thomas Haug? They're gonna dominate in the front court. This is going to be an interesting matchup because we have one of the best defenses in Houston and the best offense in Illinois. And when it comes down to it, I just don't think Illinois has the has a good enough defense to. I'm having second thoughts. I don't know, because I think Houston, they have a great big three of Kingston. They have Kingston Flemings. I'm gonna go Houston. I don't really know why. This could go either way. My gut tells me Houston, so I'm gonna lean with them. Arizona, Arkansas, another really tough one. I think Arkansas. I think they beat Duke. I think they beat Florida, and I think they beat Michigan. But Arizona is just so good. They have so many guys, whether it's Braden Burries, Koa Pete, Jaden Bradley, the Big 12 Player of the Year, Anthony Del Orso. They have and other guys, Mo Krivas, who's the other guy? Big center. I'm forgetting, but they have so many guys. They have a solid 8-man rotation, and all of them can pick up buckets. And yes, Darius Acuff could take over this game, but so could any of the 8 players on their rotation. Give me Arizona to advance. Gonzaga, Purdue, I just think experience comes out on top. Give me Braden Smith and Purdue to advance with this one. This is where Akron's run comes down. Sorry, Michigan's just too physical. And Iowa State, Virginia. I like this Virginia team, but I think Joshua Jefferson I can't speak right now, but I think they get hot. Looking pretty chalks right now. I had some upsets in the first round, but no real Cinderellas, really. I mean, UCLA is probably the biggest one. We have 1-7 here, then we have 1-2s all around. So, give me Duke to advance. That's where UCLA's run ends. Give me Houston over Florida. Honestly, everyone's saying, well, Houston has the guard play, but they don't have the front court to match. JoJo Tugler put up 20 on U of A, attacked Mo Krivas and these guys. And Kingston Flemings is just a dog. I like this Houston team with Milos Uzan, Emmanuel Sharp, JoJo Tugler, Kristen Nack, who's been hot from 3 recently. Give me them to advance to the Final Four. And give me Michigan. Well, I'm not too high on them. And I do think Iowa State, if their shots fall with Milan Momcilovic and Elliot Cadeau has another turnover-prone game, I feel like Iowa State could come on top. But I think Michigan, too many variables have to happen for Iowa State to win. So give me Michigan there. And then give me Arizona. They're just a good team. And really, for this Final Four, I don't really have much to say, but give me Duke, Arizona, and give me Arizona to win it all. I love this Arizona team. They have so many guys that can pick up buckets. They're just a good all-around team, and is there a weakness with this Arizona team? Because for Michigan, I can say their guard play, because Elliot Cadeau is turnover prone, and for Houston, they just don't get it done. They aren't super efficient, and for Duke, they have injuries, and K.O. Foster, he might be back for Final Four, you don't know, but I just think Arizona is the clear best team. The only reason I don't think that they could win this all is just because of the mental aspect, because they haven't performed well in March Madness, like, ever. And I do think that they could slip up to Arkansas, maybe even Purdue. I think tough draw for Arkansas, because I think if they were in any of these regions, I would pick them to the Final Four. But anything can happen. It's March. I want my bracket to be perfect. It was kind of chalky, so honestly, I would love to see a Furman or a South Florida or a Cal Baptist. It's always those teams that you never expect, or I just want some Cinderellas, because that never happened last year. But this is my March Madness bracket. I said it was going to be perfect. I'm not confident in that. It's probably not going to be. But I think it's a pretty good one. So, yeah. Thank you for watching this episode of AZ Sports Roundup. We'll be back with some more Arizona sports news. Well, technically, I did have Arizona winning, but we don't like them. So, we'll be talking about ASU and the Cardinals and the Suns. Maybe the Suns about to be in the playoffs if everything keeps going right. So, yeah, thank you for watching this episode of AZ Sports Roundup, and see ya.